Our next stop was Christchurch, where we went to the Antarctic Centre. Christchurch is one of the 5 gateway cities to the Antarctic.
Once you paid £60 to get in, you then go...
£60?
Yes, it was £60 each.
It wasn't 60 quid each.
Pretty sure it was.
No, it wasn't. 60 quid each. We paid £30 to get in each, so about $60 around that. The first thing we walked into was the...
Snow and ice experience.
Which basically was an ice storm.
Yeah, that went from -8, and then it was a wind chill down to -18. But because the simulation happens every 30 minutes, Matt and I just ran into the one that was happening at the time.
Because one was happening about 2 minutes before the door shut, so we just ran in.
Yeah.
And once we got in, we realised that everyone in there had jackets on, which they supply, and everyone had hats and scarves and all sorts on.
Were you in shorts?
I was in shorts and a jumper.
But it only lasted, I think, about like 10 minutes.
It's a bit cold in there.
And then we moved on to the 4D experience in the theatre, where you sat down in like, I think there's about 6 rows of seats, and you put these really cool sunglasses on.
What's that thing now?
Oh yeah.
You know what's it?
Yeah, they're like the cat or something.
Not the thing. Just need them to go.
Stop. You look like Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai?
Yeah.
What's shark gear?
4D experience in the Antarctic thing. I feel like people wear sunglasses like this normally.
And it took you through an Antarctic trip, and you got to see like the penguins and under the ice, and you were like on a boat and things like that. So you had water sort of sprayed in your face and wind, and I think the seats moved.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it. Was there anything else?
Snow falling from the ceiling.
Oh yeah, that was quite nice at the end.
It was a different times. It wasn't just at the end when the snow came down.
Okay, well, either way, it was great. Probably recommend just keeping your mouth closed, because the spray comes out of the seat in front of you, and I don't know when the last time that water was changed. Yeah.
And at one point, there was a bird pooping, wasn't there? And it sprayed out the seat. It's only water, but it makes you go like, ooh.
Oh yeah, that wasn't great.
What's that?
And then
Shit, yeah.
after we did the centre, we then drove into the middle of Christchurch, where we went to this lovely coffee shop, and then we found, knowing us, a Riverside food market, which is a famous food market like the time out markets that you get around the world. And we basically ate our weight in food. I think Matt got a chicken sandwich for lunch.
I remember that chicken sandwich, that was good.
Yeah, it was good. Everything in there was good, to be honest with you. And I would say quite reasonably priced. We then walked down to the River Avon, which is famous for it basically looking like a typical English countryside park, I guess. It's based on how Cambridge looks, which I actually haven't been to Cambridge, so I don't know if that's how it looks.
It wasn't as built up as a usual city. It was nice and spread out and lots of nature everywhere. It was nice.
Yeah, and there was some cool art around as well, wasn't there? Like the art on the buildings and things. The next day we then drove to Kaikoura, which was 2.5 hours drive, and Kaikoura is known for its 1,200 metre trench, which is only 1 kilometre offshore, and that provides an abundance of marine wildlife like
different types of species of whale go past there every year.
And they've got dolphins, and they've got penguins, and they've got different types of seabirds, and you can go and see like the albatross off there. You do all the trips and stuff.
Matt just called me. He's gone fishing. We're in Kaikoura. We just got here. And he just said, come over. Says that there's a place called Seal Point. And he was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to where I want to go because of the seals. So I'm going over to see him now, and I think I can see 2 just chilling on under a rock right next to them. Apparently they just don't care about you. So let's go and find some seals. Okay, so here I am. Here's Matt. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Look. Mr. Foss, off to see some seals on a kayak today. Look at him, little adventure boy.
Bring this round a bit.
We're on a
Put it on my face,
hobby kayak, a pedal one this morning, and we've come to look for some seals. Shins, we might just need to turn in a second because we're going towards the rocks.
Yep. Don't worry, darling. I've got us.
Ready? Matt's here, if you can see him. In full... I don't know.
You showing them how we steer, Sinead? That's all the way to the right. Because the left goes well further, look.
And then you just pedal. Pedal. And that's it. And this is the current view. Sorry, but look at that. We were in the sea and there's some snow-capped mountains behind us. Smile! Not that you can.
It's a short paddle, probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes around the corner.
And we got really close to them, but in like a really respectful area, which is nice. And they really didn't care about us, to be honest with you, because they were just sort of flapping around in the sea and sunbathing. And that took about, what, 2 hours?
I reckon, yeah, 2.5 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
So whilst we were paddling, the guide was telling us about the big earthquake that happened in Kaikoura in 2016. The whole peninsula where the seals actually sit and rest on was totally underwater. So what you see a metre out of the water was actually just under the water before the earthquake.
Which is mad.
Yeah, it's mental when you see it, when you're looking at it, and then the guide says, oh yeah, no one else was here before the earthquake, and you go, what?
And then we went back to the harbour, and of course Matt decided to go fishing.
Caught a couple of small blue cod, saw some more seals and an eagle ray swim past, a couple of small rockfish as well, but put everything back.
After 2 days in Kaikoura, we then drove to Nelson, which was about 4 hours, to meet our potential new workaway host. And on the way, we stopped because Matt spotted basically like a super pod of dolphins swimming in the bay, which we kind of tried to get for you to see, but this is the best that we got. After we met our workaway host, which obviously we didn't film, we then drove about 15 minutes down the road to a village called Mapua. And on the wharf there, we also had lunch and did a spot of fishing in the afternoon.
We're just parked up at Cable Bay, and I thought I would just show you a little bit around Cable Bay. It's about 20 minutes drive from Nelson, so on the north coast next to Marlborough Sounds on the South Island.
Matt went fishing at Cable Bay and caught a rather large, what was that, Atlantic salmon? It's not an Atlantic salmon, because I'm not in the Atlantic.
Carwai, they call it here. Same as the Australian salmon I was catching in Tasmania and I've been catching previously, just a bit of a better size.
But that fish was really big.
It wasn't really big, it was that big. It were that wide and that high.
This is Matt's catch from today, the Australian salmon.
Woo. So it's similar to like bass.
Flaky flakes. Stunning.
Come on then, put it on my grid. And pass me
Put
the
it on your
Suzuki.
own grid.
No, put it on for me. Come on.
Let me put mine on first then.
Why?
Because
You more important.
what do they say? When the plane's going
Age before
down.
beauty. Your age, I'm beauty.
Oh, it smells nice there.
Really? Like what? Those yours?
Yes, it smells like Fajoas, a Korean brand mask. Smells like Fajoas.
This hasn't got like whitening stuff in it, is it?
No. Okay.
You look like a weirdo.
There's a fucking dead moth on the bloody table. I think we're alright for a bit of collagen.
You look like a dead moth right now. Quang, 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 quang. Quang, 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 quang.
Got a little collagen mask on Matt this evening. He looks great. Obviously, it doesn't stick to his beard. Okay, so we've just got it on his face there. Hopefully, it'll bring out some youth into his face and get rid of his little frown lines. And this is me. Take your mask off now, Sinead.
Why?
Because it's been 20 minutes.
Oh, if you put them through.
Okay. I want to know what it feels like for you.
What are you talking about?
Your skin afterwards. You'd like just leave it when you'd peel it off as well.
I don't know what it feels like to be you.
No, I don't want that one. Oh, she's a fresh gal. Right, now pop that bit in the bin. No, that's...
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, you just put the shit on the table, don't you?
Ugh.
Oh my god.
It's my fault. Am I 30 years younger, darling?
Mm.
Yeah, right. Load of shite.
I feel like I just come out of the womb when I take these off.
There's a tank on the boat. So we got off the boat in Wellington and we drove to the Escarpment Track, which is on the west coast, about what, half hour away from Wellington,
Yeah, half hour, 45,
where there was a 10k walk.
which was our first biggest walk since the accident.
Having a dodgy toe, yeah.
And you just get the train back, which is $4.50 each person for an adult ticket. And you have to get cash out or sign up to a
Snapper app.
Snapper app, because that's kind of what they accept, sort of like a Oyster card.
If it's a card or an app or both, but
either way,
signs for it up there. So
we've got cash to get a ticket, and it's only 10 minutes on the train back to where we are now, which I'm not going to butcher the name again. So yeah, let's show you the walk. And there's some mad swing bridges on this walk too, so crazy.
So the track is not actually ideal if you get vertigo or you are afraid of heights, because some parts are extremely narrow and there is no barrier to stop you basically falling to your death, which down below you is a railway track or the sea or a highway.
and there's massive grasshoppers.
What is that?
Look at the size of that.
What is it?
Cricket. So yeah, when they jump out of the grass, watch out. Could push you over the edge.
Get out!
You get a wave out of them.
Try it.
It basically took us about 2 hours to do, didn't it? Which is kind of the average time it takes to do it. And then we drove from there to Himatangi, which was about an hour and a half, I think, up the west coast, where we were literally there again for one night, because then the following day we were doing a big drive of 4 hours across to the east coast to Napier, which is famous for its Art Deco town.
And it's wine.